have a new video to share with you today, and it's using a new stamp set. It's called Country Home. This is the stamp set. It's in the newly released holiday catalog from Stampin' Up. It's a wonderful stamp set. I've been using it a lot. Really love it. And I also used this stamp set, Jar of Love, because I wanted to use these two stems to create my background on the banners. So this is a really fun card to make. It opens up like this and then like that. So really easy, but just a fun different way to make a card. So I'm going to show you how to put it together. So here are the pieces that you're going to need. I have a piece of Whisper White that measures 1 3/4 by 2 1/4, 1 1/2 by 3, 3 3/4 by 3 1/2, and all these measurements will also be on my website at serenestamper.com. This piece of Pacific Point measures 2 by 5. This piece of Lemon Lime Twist measures 1 3/4 by 3, and then another piece of Pumpkin Pie, and this measures, I can't remember, this measures 2 by 4 1/2, and then our card base is 11 by 4 1/4. Okay, along the 11-inch side, I'm scoring at 3 and 4 1/2 and 8 1/2. Then I'm just folding these two edges towards the center. Then this score line gets folded in. Like that. So once you've folded those in, this piece gets folded over like that, so your little mountain fold is on the right side, because this side is going to go underneath, that gets folded on top, and this goes like that. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to use this stamp on the Pacific Point. So I'm taking my Pacific Point ink, and it's a little bit tricky lining up the squares. I mean, you could use the Stamparatus and really get it precise, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm going to go all the way across the top and the bottom, and I'm going to stamp both sides of the cardstock. Oops. Okay, so there's the first piece, and I actually staggered them a little bit so they're not exact, but on this side I will try to line them up, and then you can see the difference. Okay, on this side I line them up. They're not perfect, but you can see how the patterns really look really nice like that, but they also look nice when they're staggered too. So you don't have to be precise. It's all good. So next we're going to move on to the Pumpkin Pie. And for the Pumpkin Pie, I'm using this image right here. Lime Twist, and I'm using where is it now? This little guy right here, that little image. I'm just going to set those aside. I'm going to do all my stamping in one swoop. So now we're going to move on to the white pieces. Okay, I forgot to mention I also have a white strip, and this measures 3/4 by 3 1/4. So for that, I'm stamping a sentiment, and I'm using my black memento. That looks pretty blotchy, so I'm just gonna try that on scrap paper here. Okay, I just re-inked this, so it's very inky. And I'm stamping towards the left because I'm going to flag this to make it a banner. So happy harvest blessings, set that aside. And then on the 1 3/4 by 2 1/4, I am stamping so grateful for someone like you in my life. And that's gonna get stamped right in the center. And this is going to get trimmed down a little bit. So put that aside. Now, going back to the jar of love, I'm taking the For You, put that on my block, and I want the U to go underneath the word for. So for that, I am taking my marker and I'm just going on top of the word for. Actually, I should cut my flag out of this first. So I'm using my triple banner punch. Oops. I'm just putting it in. Okay. So I want this to go right about here. Clean off my stamp. Make sure it's clean. Take my marker again and ink up the word you. And that's going to go right underneath. There we go. We'll set that aside. And now it's time to stamp the flowers from Country Home. So this is going to be cut with a die from the layering circles. So what I want to do is stamp the flowers first. So I'm again inking them with my memento. And I'm stamping it up near the top, not right at the top, because I want my circle die to go around it. Oh, so pretty. Now I'm taking the milk can. And gonna ink that as well. And stamp it right underneath those flowers. Oh, I didn't line that up very good. Okay, we're gonna do it on this side. Okay, let's re-ink this. Oh, that's much better. Okay, so there's all the stamping done. Now it's time to do the coloring, which is always so much fun. So I'm taking my Pacific Point again. On the side. And I've got my aqua painter. I love my aqua painters. I use them all the time. Just squeezing it to make sure I've got some water coming out. And I'm just taking a tiny bit of that Pacific Point. And I'm just going to do a little wash. And then I'm also going to go back in with a bit more of that Pacific Point. And it's better to go lighter with your color, of course, because you can't take out your color, but you can add color. So I always like to gradually add more color. And this is just our Whisper White cardstock. It's not watercolor cardstock. I'm happy with that. And I don't think this flower here is orange in real life, but because I want to use the colors of the cardstock, it's going to be orange on the card. I think it's actually supposed to be green. I'm not really sure, but it's okay. In my world, it's orange today. And I'm adding some darker ink here and there. And then picking up some more orange and doing the berries. You could use a marker for this as well. And I'm actually going to squeeze out a bit more water and just do the tiniest little bit of an orange shade on those two right there. Taking my crumb cake now. I'm going to add some crumb cake on top of these. Lemon lime twist. So this is actually quite an easy image to color, really fun. And then I'm just going back in and adding some more of that lemon lime twist. Okay, and that's it for the coloring. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so I have my Bake Shot, I have my magnetic platform, I'm putting my plastic plate on, and I'm using the layering circle dies, and I'm grabbing the two largest. I've got the largest scallop, and that's for the Pacific Point, and then the largest circle. So if you notice on the card, I trimmed off a little edge here. So keeping that in mind, I'm pulling the circle over a little bit because I know I'm going to cut this end off just a bit. Put my plate on. Run it through. And you know those snap, crackles, and pops? They're normal. It's all good. So there's my die cut. And I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video that you also need a piece of Pacific Point for the large scallop circle. Perfect. And then this will fit right inside there perfectly. Okay, so the next step is adding some flags. Turn these into some little banners, again using my triple banner punch. There's one. There's two. There's three. So I think that's all the banners that I need. So I'm out of my snail, so I'm using my liquid glue. And that gets put on just like that. The glue is kind of nice anyways because it gives you a little bit of time to maneuver your image to make sure it's center on that scallop. So we're going to set that aside just to dry for a minute. Now then, first thing we're going to do is take this piece, and this is going to go on the front right like that. And of course you don't want it to have glue over here because then it's going to stick on there. So So I'm doing that bit first and then putting a little bit of glue on the edge here. Then I'm taking my For You and going to glue that on. Same thing, just do a little bit on the left because then you can go back and add some glue after that. And this is overlapping my pumpkin pie banner a bit. Gonna lift that up. Okay, so we're gonna open that flap. Now we're taking this one, and this is actually going to go right across. So I'm putting that up near the top and I'm lining it up to this crease. And a little bit here. Okay. Okay, and this piece needs to be bannerized as well. So I'm just going to use my scissors, gone up the center and corner to corner. And this gets glued right underneath that blue banner. And this piece, the lemon lime twist, is going to go on the back layer. Right about there. When I originally stamped this earlier in the video, I stamped it center and it shouldn't have been because I wanted to flag it. So I actually stamped it again. I just flipped it over and stamped it over on the left and then just added my little flags. Take some glue. And I don't want this to come past that blue. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it and it's going to be just fine. So you see that blue will hide that white banner until you open it. All right, let's put on our circle. So I'm actually just going to go to my paper cutter and just trim a tiny little sliver off. Okay, so I just cut a tiny bit. See, and it just fits perfectly. Put a little bit down here. Hold it for a second. So while that's drying, I'm taking my white baker's twine. I'm going to make a little bow. Oopsies. It's early morning and I'm still working on my first cup of coffee here. But I wanted to get a video done for everybody because it's been a long time since I did a video. We went on an Alaskan cruise with Stampin' Up! End of July, and then beginning of August I flew home to Vancouver Island to be with my family. And then it's just been busy since I got back a couple weeks ago. So I decided today's the day I am doing a video for everybody. I've also got a one-day holiday retreat coming up next Saturday, so I've been busy working on that. And then something fun I will tell you about in just a second that I've also been working on. So I've been keeping very busy. I know my YouTube channel's been a bit quiet, but there's been a reason for that. But I promise I'll have more videos coming soon. So I'm just putting a glue dot behind this bow. And that goes right there like that. And there you have it. Whoops. Let's get everything out of the bay. So there is the card. It's like that and like that. Isn't that fun? And it does fit into an envelope perfectly. So I wanted to tell you how this card came to be. My friend Frenchie, France Martin, her and I have started a new online stamp club. So if you're in the US, you would sign up with Frenchie. If you're in Canada, you would sign up with me. And when you spend a minimum of $50 a month before tax and shipping, you have the choice of either the 5-month or the 10-month term. And every month we do tutorials based on the color coach from Stampin' Up. So for for next month, one of my colors is pumpkin pie. So I am making a card using every combination that Stampin' Up! Has, plus my own favorite combination. So I've created 3 cards using these color combinations, plus my bonus card, and we pick 2 combos a month. So I do this next month, for instance, I have pumpkin pie and melon mambo, I do believe, and Frenchie picks 2. So it's a total of 8 cards each. So that's 16 card tutorials a month. And then after 5 months, you have your choice of getting $25 in free product. Or if you do it for the full 10 months, you will end up with tutorials for every color combination on here, plus our bonuses. So that's a total of 160 tutorials, plus you will get $60 free Stampin' Up! Product. So it's a really amazing stamp club. We've been doing a lot of work on it. We're super excited for it. So you can check out, there's a link in the comments below. You can check it out and read all about it, but we're really excited. So when I was working on my tutorials this week for my pumpkin pie and I wanted to create my bonus card, I chose Pacific Point and Lemon Lime Twist to go with the pumpkin pie for my card, and this was the card I made. And I played around with some different color combinations too, and I've done a different one for the bonus tutorial, but I loved this one so much I thought I would do a video for you. So that's where the inspiration came for this card and the 3 color combinations. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I have more coming your way soon. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day and happy stamping.